I'm back, Rodrans, with another video podcast. This time we're going to talk primarily about Star Wars, but I am going to talk a little bit of DCEU because there was a little bit of news yesterday and there's some news tomorrow. So, as you know, these are completely informal videos. The camera is of little importance to me. It's just here for your frame of reference, and primarily so I can also keep my concentration. So, it's drink break, right into it. I just got through eating, and I always keep my cups for like 2 days and wash them out, maybe even 3 days, because I love drinking out of these kind of cups. And then I'll toss them, and run in somewhere and get me a new one. So, yeah, I keep them clean, so let's not do the whole you nasty fuck kind of thing. So, and I also smoke in these videos. If you're offended, you're not a man. Or not a real woman that wants a real man. Okay, toxic masculinity, right? So we don't pull any punches on here, and one of our topics today is about Star Wars. Now, I want to talk about a couple things. We take a couple minutes to talk about the channels. The sports channel, Black and White Sports, go subscribe if you have not. The channel that I own with my good buddy John Matrix is absolutely kicking literal ass, like off the top rope, drop a bionic elbow onto somebody's face hole ass. And this may actually be John. That is John. So when you watch this, John, you were clipping on the podcast. I did what I could to fix it. Let me look. Ooh, my gain is turned up a little bit. All right. My gain was turned up a hair too high. So there you go. You got the behind-the-scenes production of Black and White Sports right there. We've got a podcast for Black and White Sports. Go subscribe. We're really working at 250,000 views the last 30 days. 3.2 thousand new subscribers. Not 320, 3,200 new subs. And just in the last week, something in the neighborhood of like over 100,000 views. So, insane amount of growth. Insane. Not even, and we're talking about sports, but it's sort of the fallout of all the mess surrounding sports. The NBA, the ratings dropping due to political statements. LeBron James not keeping his damn mouth shut when it comes to politics. Kneeling, all that stuff for the national anthem. All that's a thing. And because it's a thing, it's blowing that channel, skyrocketing. Now, the regular Road Ranch channel, of course, we're doing politics. I continue to set records. New 30-day record got up this morning, 55,000 views the last 30 days, 570 subs the last 30 days. And I'm to a point now where I pretty much, it's like 20 to 30 new subs every single day. I think I've gotten somewhere in the neighborhood of 25 subs today, probably. So, like I said before, changing the channel content, it worked. It really worked. Now, this is the new version of the old channel. Pop culture, Star Wars, horror movies, DC, whatever I want to talk about, really. So, we'll get on to that. Your next Friday the 13th countdown rank will be this weekend sometime. Also, tomorrow, Zack Snyder's Justice League. The trailer drops. I will do a reaction on this channel and upload it. And if you guys didn't notice, there was not a Mandalorian trailer last night. Well, there was supposed to have been. Even Grace Randolph said, yeah, last night was the night. Which is what I'd heard. And I said last week. Then Grace come back yesterday afternoon and said, there's something wrong with the trailer or something going on with the trailer, but it's not ready. So the trailer didn't drop. No shit. So, it wasn't that any of the pundits, speculators, got it wrong. It got changed out from underneath all of us. It got changed, but yeah, it was supposed to have dropped. Now, interesting speculation about that. The backup plan was tomorrow evening during the NBA playoffs, which is going to be wildly interesting. That means that you could have Zack Snyder's Justice League trailer and The Mandalorian Season 2 trailer dropping on the same day. And what I will tell you is studios love to do that sort of thing, back and forth to each other. They do. Oh, we dropped the logo. Oh, well, bitches, we'll drop a 20-second teaser on you, of blah movie. Warner Brothers, Disney, Marvel, all them back and forth. They love to jostle like that. And some of it, I can tell you right now, is probably Jon Favreau laughing. He might be laughing right now. He's like, oh, yeah? DC fandom or fandom or whatever it is, huh? Let me drop the Mandalorian Season 2 trailer on your asses tomorrow evening. I could totally see him doing that. If for no other reason, then he's an MCU guy. And to be honest with you, the fandom, I've noticed most Snyder Cut fans are also Mandalorian fans. So that's really a huge win for us. 2 pieces of goodies in the same day. I've got no problems with that. In fact, that means I get to do 2 reactions in the same day for my channel, and this channel really needs it. It really needs it. And those are short videos that I can just roll out, okay? And the regular Roads Ranch channel, the world in politics is going nuts right now. So we had the Keith Love thing happen in Portland. We had the tragic death of Cannon Hennett. And I have to really stay on top of that stuff. We got some drama in Star Warsville. As Star Wars fans said, the Disney Star Wars fans have said some of the dumbest shit all of a sudden they could possibly say. I mean, good God, really. Let's just start there. So, a new Boba Fett comic came out. And SJWs tried to cancel it for, you're never going to guess. Lucasfilm hates women. Are you telling me I just literally watched the entire Disney Star Wars sequel trilogy crash and burn over the shittiest female character in the history of movies? Also, they could pacify you freaking SJWs, and y'all are pissed because Boba Fett done shot a woman that was like pregnant and a person of color, which I hate that term. I think it's racist. A black lady is shot and killed, and y'all are now anointing Lucasfilm as women haters after the Force's female shit, after them bending the knee to all of you damn leftist SJWs. And you should hear Data Racer 117 on Twitter put together a whole thing. I mean, this guy Braddington at Brad Whipple. Oh, God. I mean, you just sound like a punk. So, Star Wars comics are never going to stop portraying men senselessly killing women. Huh. I mean, how big is your vagina exactly? And how hairy? Really? Do you send your boyfriend to the store for your tampons when it's that time of the month? Alika Scipia. I hope the authors of this comic get fired. SW hates women. Star Wars hates women. We just watched Rey. We just watched Rey. They literally destroyed Star Wars for you assholes. Madison, Thames. So tired of consuming Star Wars stories that make me feel like the men creating them hate me, hate women. Wasn't planning to start the day with a good long cry about Star Wars, but here we are again. Literally get a ballpoint pen and jam it directly into my fucking eye hole. I mean, it's utterly ridiculous. These fucking assholes, these sensitive little tambourine players. Oh, Santos Garcia. I don't know who thought it would be okay for Boba Fett comic that shows violence against women. That's disgusting on so many levels. Again, dude, how big and furry is your vagina? Do you bitch and moan to your boyfriend when it's that time of the month? You fucking male feminist pansy-ass mama's boys. God, I hope you're not from Texas. If you are, you're probably from Austin. I've got no use for this shit. I just sat back and watched the worst hero's arc in the history of all movie arcs in Rey to pacify a social justice message that fucking sent Star Wars down the tubes. And Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni and George Lucas are trying to breathe life back into fucking Star Wars. Evidently, there's a good Boba Fett comic out there, and you goddamn bitches are fucking pissing and moaning over it. It's clear. If every little thing triggers you, go write your own shit and get the fuck out of the Star Wars fandom. Just get the fuck out of the fandom. If you are triggered by everything, you can't expect everybody else to be triggered like you or give a rat's ass. Do you know how many men have fucking died in Star Wars? I'm sorry, but you bitch-ass women ain't no more important than any man. And if you think they are, go fuck yourself. Twice. I mean, go fuck yourself. Hard. Good and hard. Long and hard. Deep and hard. That's bullshit, you fucking discriminatory cocksuckers. Now, I know this is a podcast, but shit. See there? These podcasts are supposed to be pretty relaxing. I'm not monetized, so I just dropped a shit ton of F-bombs on your ass. And I apologize. I'm trying not to do that. But these assholes ran me hot on this. I just couldn't believe it. I was like, you people are not satisfied with anything. Anything. There's no pleasing you. Franchises, entire properties have been ruined all over entertainment to pacify you twats. And people that really care about the property, we're the ones getting screwed. Well, we're the ones getting screwed. Y'all don't give a damn. You got up and decided you needed a long cry about Star Wars? I mean, really? Really? Are you literally the woman from the SNL skit from like 30 years ago that's like, Mom, I've got that not so fresh feeling? You are literally you are the walking embodiment of a douche nozzle. If you got up and your priority that day is to tweet out, and that's all these people want to do, I want to tweet out outrage. I've got no use for you. We see it in politics all the time. Look, we've seen it in entertainment, but the idea after Star Wars literally just screwed the pooch, and now they're trying to get it lined back out, and you bitches are mad because some woman got popped in a Boba Fett comic? Oh, sit down and shut the fuck up. I mean, God almighty. And if you're a dude, I swear. Who the fuck raised you people? Y'all wouldn't last 5 minutes in Texas. In rural Texas. We would eat y'all alive. Stay wherever the fuck you're at. San Francisco or wherever. We don't need you here. Okay. So, we're going to get back to Star Wars in a minute, but let's go to the DCEU, because yesterday we found out that Ben Affleck is coming back as Batman in the Flash movie. Andy Muschietti is the guy that directed It. He is directing the Flash movie. I got to tell you, I love this shit. I liked Affleck a lot as Batman. And I hope, as of right now, in the interview that was given, supposedly, Ben's not coming back for anything else. But look, Ben stepped aside really because there was a drinking issue. Okay, that was the rumor. That he was struggling with drinking, and look, Ben's gotten a handle on that. And that's from Ben. So, Ben's gotten a handle on that, and that's great. Ben Affleck, awesome. I'm glad you was able to sort of wrangle that in. I've seen that shit destroy dudes. Got my friends. Some of my friends couldn't ever get a hold of it. It almost destroyed me. I never told you guys. That's how and why I got into weight training. That's right. Because I had developed a good hell bit of a drinking problem. And I had to try to rein that in somehow. So I started weight training. And point of fact, I couldn't weight train and be a damn drunk. You know, and all that sort of coincided with me going to work in the corporate world, so it was sort of like a perfect storm. Started weight training, went to work in the corporate world, cut way down on my drinking. Like, I can drink now, I can, but I got to watch what I drink and how often I drink it. So, lot of kudos to Ben. I know that can be hard. So, I know I got a little deep there, but that's the point of these things, is so we can get into some ancillary stuff. It's almost like a get to know Rhodes as we're getting to know this sort of, you know, as I'm talking about different things that's going on in pop culture. So, he's coming back. There's supposed to be some stuff between Bruce Wayne and the Flash, a.k.a. Barry Allen. Now, as of right now, Ezra Miller is still the Flash. Look, if you've watched my channel, my other channel, you know how I feel about Ezra Miller. You put your hands on a woman, you're a douchebag. And I don't need you. And look, I'm not a cancel culture person. But it's on video, and it is what it is. I don't know how you explain that away, and I don't know how you give him a pass. Yeah, fuck yeah, I'm going to judge you. I sure am. And if I catch that shit in person, I'm going to knock your fucking ass out. You put your hands on a woman, I'm going to put you to sleep. And a couple of the worst fights I ever got in were with dudes that were hitting on women. And I can't condone it. Maybe just because I've seen things, growing up that bothered me, but no, it's not going to happen. And as far as I'm concerned, Ezra Miller's a bitch. And people will downvote this video just for that. I don't give a shit. And I think Grant Gustin is a 40 times better Flash than Ezra Miller. All that said, does it make me want to see Justice League any less? No, I really liked. I loved BVS Ultimate Edition. I loved it. Suicide Squad. Yeah, I'm one of the dudes that I love that movie. I love it. Birds of Prey, the worst DC movie I've ever seen of any of them. Even worse than Batman and Robin. Yeah, worse than Superman 4, The Quest for Nuclear Man, or whatever, The Quest for Peace. Because at least that's got Christopher Reeve in it, right? But yeah, BVS, loved it. Man of Steel, loved it. Henry Cavill is the new Superman. We got a little teaser yesterday with Ray Fisher as Cyborg. But it was the part where they're showing the Gotham football team. Very cool visuals there. Saw part of Henry Cavill walking around as Superman. Look, this trailer, it's going to blow our wigs. It's going to blow our socks off. I hope this movie's great. Because I had waited forever. DC is my favorite property. I mean, there's Superman right there. Flash is back here. Robin's right here. I love DC. I got a Hawkman comic up there. I moved my Secret Origins DC comic over there so I could put up that American flag thing. And it's not an actual flag. It's something else. I could have grabbed a huge flag today. My son had one that he gave to my mother. My mother offered it to me. But evidently, it's like massive. Like massive. If I put it in a video, it would take up the whole background. And I guess maybe I need to get it. I guess I need to get it and take some of this stuff down, but I got multiple channels, so I'm trying to... I got to figure something out there. I just do, right? So I'm looking forward to that. I want to see Zack Snyder's Justice League. Plus, I like Zack Snyder. Dawn of the Dead was really good. On my list of countdowns I'm doing, I know people want the John Carpenter countdown, but I might do a horror remake countdown. Because interesting, I talked about the best horror remakes the other day, but I forgot about Dawn of the Dead. It was actually the first of the new remakes. Boy, it was good. And those zombies were fast. I love those fast zombies. Yeah. So, we'll see. 300 was great, right? We need Gerard Butler in the DCEU as something. God damn, he'd have made a good Deathstroke. Anyway, my point is, Ben's coming back. There's been rumors about an HBO Max series, and I know they're doing another Gotham series of some kind. I don't know why we need another Gotham. I haven't finished the last one. I need to sit down and finish it. I've saw the first 3 seasons, and it's pretty good. It is pretty good. Although I'm not going to lie to you, I did watch the last episode just so I could see Batman for 12 seconds. Batman's my favorite superhero. He's my favorite comic character. He's my second favorite movie character behind Han Solo. So, I love Batman. Batman's the shit. Can't wait to see Michael Keaton. Yep. If I was to do countdowns of Batman, because I know people will ask, I have been asked this before. Number 1, Bale. Look, Dark Knight trilogy. It's especially those first 2 movies, best 2 superhero movies I've ever seen. I call that trilogy it is the comic book version of the Star Wars original trilogy. Nolan just knocked it out of the park. I think The Dark Knight Rises is wildly underappreciated. I watched it a while back. Tom Hardy is so badass as Bane. Bane is awesome in that movie. Awesome. And Christian Bale. He's just great. He's actually worked his way up into my second favorite actor. And when Harrison Ford dies, Christian Bale will be my favorite actor. You know, Harrison will always be number one all time. All time. And then I think Eastwood would probably be 2. And then Bale would be 3 if we're doing an all-time list. I love Clint. Arnold would be 4, John Matrix. I remember when Arnold would have been 2nd, probably. But when Bale took over as Batman and then hit it out of the park, he went on up the list. Plus, American Psycho, Reign of Fire is underrated. Hostiles, 310 to Yuma. Bale's got some badass flicks. Out of the Furnace, that's a good flick. Very good movies. The movie with Barry Pepper, what is that? Rescue Dawn. Yeah. Good. Christian Bale's been in a ton of good movies. Oh, my God. Terminator Salvation. Yeah, that was the other thing. Yeah, John Connor. Jesus Christ, why didn't we get a trilogy out of that? Highly underrated. So John Matrix loves that movie just like I do. We did a watch party on his channel for Terminator Salvation. God, that was fun. I can do watch parties on this channel. Holy shit. I need to do that. And all 3 people can sit down and watch it. Four people. 5 people. I don't know. I've got some pretty dedicated. I got a dedicated like 12 or 15 folks. Big time. You know? God. That tells you where the world's at right now, because I changed channels and only like 40 people came over. Everybody else is so caught up in what's happening in the world that it's like, yeah, we know you changed channels, but right now we're worried about cities in the country burning down, and rightfully so. You know, and the coronavirus, you know. Crazy. So, yeah, I hope we get to see Affleck in that series, or at least a movie, his own Batman movie. I'm looking forward to the Robert Pattinson thing, but I'm still concerned. It's got Colin Farrell in it, which that's good. I really like Colin Farrell. I do. But I'm one of the 3 people on the planet that like True Detective Season 2. Just because Colin Farrell was in it. Miami Vice. I mean, you know. I think Colin Farrell's really underappreciated. Now, to Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni. They gave an interview in THR, and they were talking about, they asked Filoni about George, and he said that George is pretty complimentary of The Mandalorian, and that he gets to watch it as a fan, blah, blah, blah. But he definitely said that George had contributed to things like his development on the set when he was directing the episodes he was involved with. He was like, he told me, hey, remember to do this, do this, do this. So George Lucas is around during The Mandalorian. No ifs, ands, or buts. George is around. Which probably means Kathleen's not. Now, I brought up last week, it's so weird. And it crossed my mind, but not enough to really hone in on it during the podcast. But I'm going to go back to the same article because it's been... I come out with it, and then 4 days later, it just took over our entire Fandom Menace. Because Favreau had 2 major quotes. We wanted to really wind it back to the things that inspired the original Star Wars and really get it small in scale. Tell simple stories, because part of what you inherit when you're going to see Star Wars now is the whole history, because the stories have been told for decades, and it was nice with the new medium to be able to start with a new set of characters to introduce new audiences. He'd go on to say, but we always knew, and this was something I learned over at Marvel from Feige, is that you always want to keep the core fans in mind, because they have been the ones that's been keeping the torch lit for many, many years. But these are also stories for young people and new audiences. These are myths, so you always want to have an outstretched hand to people who might not have that background. And so you're really telling two stories at once. You're telling a story for people who have fresh eyes, and you're telling a story for the people who have been there with the property and with the stories and the characters for so many years, and make sure you're honoring them as well. And the one thing I did mention was how different that sounds versus anything we've heard from Rian Johnson or Kathleen Kennedy. I did bring that up. But I should have talked about it more, and that's my bad. Look, he's talking like a leader. He's talking like somebody that's leading the ship. He's talking like somebody that's running the show. He gave another interview a while back, probably a month ago or 6 weeks ago, where he was talking about how he had sort of given a directive to people involved with stories. You need to make these stories with the fans in mind, which is what we've been saying the whole time, right? That's what we've been pounding the table for this whole time. Guys, you got to remember, I made a video back in June, and the thumbnail literally says Kathleen Kennedy being phased out. Well, I'd heard that, I had done news stories where I said leakers had told me she's getting less and less involved. She's not involved. Nobody's seen her, blah, blah, blah. And then I made that video because Grace Randolph said she is being transitioned out. I caught it in one of her videos. She said it. She threw it in, and nobody else said anything. Stephanie J gave me some props. She said, I went and listened. You caught that. Good job. And shout out to Stephanie J. She's still rocking that Star Wars stuff over there. She's hardcore. I'm just letting you know right now. So you better wear your big boy britches if you go listen to Stephanie J. She'll drop the hammer on me. She don't give a fuck. That's all right. That's just fine. I can handle it. Drop that good old hammer. So she'll listen to this and be like, fuck you, Rhodes. Okay. So anyway, look. This is something I've been telling y'all. I've been beating the drum. This guy knows what he's doing. Jon Favreau loves Star Wars. It's written all over The Mandalorian. It is. And now he's resurrecting Boba Fett. Are you kidding me? I mean, do you know how awesome that is? I mean, I got Fett figures up here. He's bringing Boba back. Ahsoka's live action. And he's letting Dave own that. I would guess. We talked about the fact that there's not a showrunner for the Ahsoka show yet. I'm sure it's going to be Dave Filoni. It's his character. So, I'm sure that Ahsoka show will be Dave's. Which means he will have Captain Rex. And look, it's the fandom is all over The Mandalorian. It is. I mean, tying it into Clone Wars, tying it into Rebels, Ahsoka, Tamora Morrison's going to be Boba Fett and Captain Rex. God, that's good. I mean, that is the wheelhouse stuff that Star Wars fandom is looking for. They got to figure out what to do with our old characters somehow. He's got to come back around and fix them somehow and honor them. I still believe. I've said I believe Luke will show up in The Mandalorian. Lando could show up in The Mandalorian. I just don't know if George called Harrison. Harrison might come in for The Mandalorian and do a de-aged Han, like one of those cameo things where Harrison Han de-aged is in a cantina with Chewbacca. I've said Chewbacca's a slam dunk because he's a dude in a costume. You know, they can get Chewie in. That's a slam dunk old character that needs to show up. I'm sure we'll see 3PO and R2 at some point. It's just there's going to be original trilogy characters show up. I know they've said that they're going to try to pull back from those, but look, once Boba Fett shows, it's game over. You've got old characters then. And that's telling you, well, they're breaking the seal on the old characters with Boba coming back. And they can fix it in a lot of different ways. But yeah, that just tells you. Favreau's got, the gentleman that was on with Jeremy, the screenwriter, said that he knows people that knows Jon. Jon hated The Last Jedi. Well, look, I hear that. That's all I need to hear. I've always been a Favreau guy because I liked him as an actor in Swingers and in Made. Vince Vaughn with Vince Vaughn. And I loved Iron Man. And I'm not supposed to, but I loved The Lion King. I know I'm not supposed to. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I don't care. Y'all know me. I don't care. If I like a movie, I'm going to fucking say it. So, Favreau's real high in my book. Real high. I still haven't seen The Jungle Book, but, that's okay. That's okay. I cared more about The Lion King, but I will be the first to admit, while I liked The Lion King as somebody younger, I wasn't ate up with it. So I think that helped with the live action one. I always like live action more than cartoon. Always. That's just my lane. I like it more. So I know people wanted me to talk about this Cuties project from Netflix. I was on a live stream with John Matrix earlier, and we watched the trailer. God, it was repugnant. All I could think of was Roman Polanski being forced to go into hiding overseas. I guess it was France because of statutory rape. And it was just gross. I can't believe Netflix greenlight that. And of course, the social justice warriors are eating that crap up. I'm seeing Democrats online talking about, oh, that's fine. It's about 11-year-old girls twerking. Who the hell thinks that's okay? It's Hollywood. God, they're a bunch of sick fucks. You got Tom Hanks in freaking Grease right now. May never come back. Epstein related. But look, my thoughts, I'm not doing a trailer reaction on that piece of shit. I saw it. That trailer has got 500,000 downvotes. As well it should. As well it should. That's like New Warriors. Remember Snowflake and Safe Space or some shit? SJW. Full-on SJW comic. It was so offensive, even the SJWs found it offensive. Well, look. 11-year-old girls, it's just gross. Come on, Netflix. Come on. I watch some Netflix shows. Ozark's great. Yeah, Mindhunter's great. But it had me considering getting rid of Netflix. It really did. It really did. You gotta, god damn, there's a lack of self-awareness in Hollywood. And you had Eva Longoria the other day on the DNC talking about nobody knows the people better than celebrities. I could not believe that shit. I should have made a video on that on my other channel, but guys were getting kicked in the head by Black Lives Matter, so yeah, that took priority because I wanted to get that fuckhole's face out there on video. You know. So, but Favreau, yeah. Absolutely, Favreau is look, I can tell you from running that horror website for so many years, just because Kathleen Kennedy is quote-unquote in title still got the position, that doesn't mean anything. That doesn't mean anything. She could be sitting at the house right now. She could just be sitting in on Zoom calls listening. That could be the extent of her control. But look, Iger and Chapek have not been happy with Kathleen for quite some time. And they know The Mandalorian is a winner. And you know Favreau loves Star Wars. And the entire fandom really liked The Mandalorian. Perfect business. And Feige. And Feige has got that good relationship with Jon. And Jon's got that good relationship with Taka. Regardless of how you feel about Taka, he was good dealing with Star Wars. And he said, I understand, Star Wars is a different animal. You got to stick to the tone of Star Wars. So, look, I'm even looking forward to Taka's project. And part of me believes he's directing a Mandalorian movie. I still think one of those movies, maybe the first one, it got moved back a year. I still say it's a Mandalorian movie. Maybe wrapping the series up. I don't know. I may be wrong. I've been trying to find that out behind the scenes. And nobody will tell me, because if you want to know the truth, I don't think they're entirely sure what it is yet. Which, or if they do, there's not enough on it for them to talk about it yet. But I don't think it has a damn thing to do with the sequel trilogy. They're just going to act like that thing never happened. They're just going to act like it didn't happen. From a business standpoint. Like all the products that come out, it's not going to... You know, you might see some kind of a weird... You know, Captain Phasma as a teenage girl shows up in an episode in the last season of The Mandalorian. It's, you know, something stupid. But I don't even think they'll do that. I really don't. I think they're just... I think Favreau's like, let's just act like that puppy didn't happen. Let's work on ancillary plans that might be able to get them original characters back where their original legacies were. How do we scrub out the Emperor and restore Anakin's legacy? I think that's a big one too. So, that's it, guys. This is another good one. Y'all heard me go on a hell of a rant earlier. But look, I sit back. Like I said, I watched Star Wars get firebombed because of SJWs for 5 years, 6 years. And now one thing happens, a woman gets capped in a comic and they throw a fit about Star Wars hating women? Oh, go F yourself all day long. Get some Tampax that fit. Is it Tampax? Oh, fuck, I don't know. Tambourine play mama boys. Peace. I'm out. Hit subscribe. Till next time.
King Kong in a